Hello, I'm coming to you today to show you a quick and easy way to make pom-poms. Now, there are different methods to use. You will see some people that they will use cardboard, or they would have special little round devices, or you can cut out cardboard that looks like a donut hole and you use 2 of those. There's various methods. I will put links to different websites and or videos at the bottom in the description in case you wanted to use some of those methods, but I'm going to show you a quick and easy 4-step tutorial that you can do without any equipment. The 4 steps are: 1, we need to wrap; 2, we need to bind; 3, we need to cut; 4, we need to trim, and that's it. So here we go. For this tutorial, I'm actually repurposing some yarn that was in a scarf that I bought from the Dollar Tree. I've already taken the scarf apart. It was simply just braided. But I took it apart because I wanted to make a cream color pom-pom only. I didn't want to use the different colors for this particular pom-pom. So I unbraided it, I took out the string the yarn that I needed, and then just so things didn't get too out of hand, I just put it back in a single knot because I will repurpose this other yarn in different projects. Okay, so we're going to use our hands here. I've taken 1 piece of yarn, folded it in half, and there's a loop on one end and the 2 tails on the other. All I'm going to do is we're going to use these 4 fingers. I'm going to put it right here in the middle. The loop side is going to be closest to your body. The part with the 2 ends is away from your body. We're going to use that later to bind. It's just easier to go ahead and put it in your hand. Next, I already have a bundle of yarn. The yarns were not all the exact length, but I went ahead and tried to put them as close as possible to, to the same length on one end. And then I'm just going to lay that across my hand. You want the ends to be hanging over your hand a little bit, whichever direction you decide to wrap it in, it's not a problem. And you may be thinking, wow, that's a lot of yarn just kind of hanging there loose. No problem, because later we're going to cut it anyway. So the fact that this is already cut is irrelevant. So now, all I'm going to do is take the rest and wrap it around. Sorry about that. And around my hand. And the more you wrap, the fuller your pom-pom would be. If you have issues with getting the other part tangled, the 2 loose ends for the binding string, just pull it around to your body, no problem. So we're just going to keep going around and around and around and around, and I think we have one more time right there. All right, so now we have this. Now we're going to pull those legs back out, the 2 little ends of the binding string. What I'm going to do is, of the binding string, I'm going to put my hands through the loop part. I'm going to go and I'm going to grab the loose ends to the other part and pull them through the loop. Okay, can you see that? I'm just pulling it. I'm going to pull it right there. Now and I'm pulling it. Okay, so now it's making almost like a little bow shape, and you're starting to bind the bundle. Now before we pull it off, you don't want to pull it all the way tight. What I would suggest doing is, can you see that? Have a little bit of loop. We're going to run the end through there again. Just to make a knot. So that's all we're doing. We're making a knot. You could, even if you didn't want to pull it through the loop, you could just tie it in a basic knot. Take both ends, tie it in a knot, keep it simple. All right. I just like it this way because it's just easier to pull together. So now I'm going to pull this off, and I'm pulling by the binding string, and I'm going to pull it off. And now I have this little thing that looks like this. Now if you want to, you can pull it over some more if you just makes you feel comfortable. But remember, we're going to trim anyway. But if you want to try to get it a little more center, that's fine. You're going to pull it tight, because this is what's going to hold your pom-pom together. Even if you want to tie another knot, you can. You don't want to wrap it around and keep tying, because you don't want the center to become too wide. Sorry about that. I'm just tying another knot. That's all. Just securing it. Okay. See that? Now you have these loops on this side, and then you have loops on that side, and we're going to cut next. Okay, make sure you keep your binding string out of the way. You do not want to cut that just yet. So, you're going to take a pair of scissors. Here, you're just going to put it through one side, one of those loops there. You see that? And we're just going to cut. Like that. We're going to flip it over to the other side and turn it to the other side. Remember, I'm still having my binding string out of the way. We're going to place the scissors through the loop on the other side and just cut. So now you can start seeing it's coming together. And all you want to do is fluff it out. Now remember, if you want it fuller, wrap it more times. And the beautiful thing about this method, I think about using the yarns that's already together. It makes these go a lot quicker than having a single strand of yarn just going around and around. And even with this, because you're cutting the loops at the end, you can just keep adding sections of yarn, and it doesn't matter that you have, these cut ends already. As long as you have them hanging over your hand a little bit, you will be good to go. So, you're going to fluff that out. You're going to keep fluffing. And next, and mind you, right here, I still have my binding string. And now, even if you wanted to have these as, make them fuller, have them as decor, different things like that, you can. And leave the string, hang them by the string, or whatever you want to do. But now I'm going to hold it almost up like a flower. These would make neat little flowers. Alright. I'm pulling my string out to kind of get it straightened a little bit. And now I'm going to trim. And I'm just going to trim a little at a time. You don't want to trim too much at a time. Just go slow, because you don't want to cut too much off, or more than you intended. And it's like being a barber or a hairstylist. You're just cutting it to the length of the way that you want it to be. And you want to shape it up. See, like here I have that really long string hanging there. I'm just going to cut that. Or not. There we go. And I have some longer ends down here, so I'm just going to cut them. See here? I have these ends that just want to do their own thing. Well, it's time to get them with the rest of the program here. And I do want to apologize for any time that it's blurry. I've mentioned it in like another video, I shoot by myself. Sometime you'll see me use my phone because I have a wireless, excuse me, camcorder, and I can use my phone as the remote. So sometimes I don't have a problem with texting or talking on the phone. I'm actually using my phone as the remote to zoom in or zoom out, or to make sure that everything is in focus. Today I'm not using my phone, so because I can't look down and do this and look up at the camera, so I do apologize. And again, I'm just going in here and just trimming, just as I said, however you want it. And there you go. And as I said, if you want it fuller, you just need to wrap more. But that's just a basic pom-pom, and you can sew that on to the top of a hat. And actually, with this binding thread or yarn already on here, if you have a knitting needle, the one that looks like a regular sewing needle, you actually can loop this through there and then, you know, just sew the ends on that way. If you wanted to use it to push it through the top of the hat, if it's already, you know, that's already knitted, or use a crochet needle, you know, to pull this yarn through, you know, and sew it that way. Or you can just take a regular needle and thread and in a matching color and just sew it to the top of a hat. And there you go. It's just that simple. And of course you can, as you can see, I keep fluffing and going on. So I think the next one I'm going to do it twice as thick, just because I want it to be fuller. But basically, that's what you have. And you can do it in multicolors. You could just take these sections all together and do them, and of course it'll have the array of colors in it. So awesome. Well, I hope you enjoyed. I hope that was helpful. Thanks to